Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of Lesson 1 Democracy, What and Why. Today we will discuss about a very important question, that is, should each democracy have the same ideals and institution? The most common form that democracy takes in our time is that of a representative democracy. In the countries we call democracy, all the people do not rule. A majority is allowed to take decisions on behalf of all the people. Even if the majority does not rule directly, the majority of people rule through their elected representative. This becomes necessary because modern democracies involve such a large number of people that it is physically impossible for them to sit together and take a collective decisions. Even if they could, the citizen does not have the time, the desire, or the skill to take part in all the decisions. This gives us a clear but minimal understanding of democracy. This clarity helps us to distinguish democracies from non-democracies. But it does not allow us to distinguish between a democracy and a good democracy. It does not allow us to see the operation of democracy beyond government. For this, we need to turn to broader meaning of democracy. A democratic decision involves consultation with the consent of all those who are affected by that decision. Those who are not powerful have the same say in taking the decision as those who are powerful. This can apply to a government or a family or any other organization. Thus, democracy is also a principle that can be applied to any sphere of life. Sometimes we use the word democracy not to describe any existing government, but to set up an ideal standard that all democracies must aim to become. True democracy will come to this country only when no one goes hungry to bed. In a democracy, every citizen must be able to play equal role in decision making. For this, you don't need just an equal right to vote. Every citizen needs to have equal information, basic education, equal resources, and a lot of commitment. If we take these ideals seriously, then no country in the world is a democracy. Yet, an understanding of democracy as an ideal reminds us of why we value democracy. It enables us to judge an existing democracy and identify its weaknesses. It helps us to distinguish between a minimal democracy and a good democracy. The most common form of democracy in today's world is rule through people's elected representatives. But if the community is small, there can be other ways of taking democratic decisions. All the people can sit together and take decisions directly. This is how Gram Sabha should work in a village. You can think of some other democratic ways of decision making. So students, the features of democracy that we discussed in this chapter provide only the minimal conditions of a democracy. That does not make it an ideal democracy. Every democracy has to try to realize that ideas of a democratic decision making. This cannot be achieved once and for all. This requires a constant effort to save and strengthen democratic forms of decision making. What we do as a citizen can make a difference to making our country more or less democratic. This is the strength and the weakness of democracy. The fate of the country depends not just on what the rulers do, but mainly on what we as citizens do. So students, democracy depends on active political participation by all citizens. That is why a study of democracy must focus on democratic politics. Students, I hope you all have understood this much. Thanks for watching this video.